wasn't there,
You'd be a
if
very
he
bad
wasn't
man.
there, I'd probably be a good man. There's no
Yeah,
denying
I
it.
agree.
You see?
I agree with what?
Yeah, that probably be a good man.
Have I ever done anything to make you
And
think
while
that?
you're saying this, you have the gunman stamina.
Put-
You know,
put-
the
put-
porky.
no.
I see him with the gunman. And
I'm asking Danny a
Yes,
question.
see him with the gunman.
Have I ever done anything to let you think
with
that
the
I
head
would
on
be a
the
good
side
man?
too. Have I
Let me
you
tell
can
you.
just imagine bouncing and song. Have I ever?
Let's say, I don't know.
Sorry.
So today's topic is men role in modern families, right?
Overall.
Listen,
Exactly. Exactly. That's no, you can't blame me. That's actually a point we need to touch on.
ah boy.
What I'm seeing right now is that men do not have a role in modern families, right? I'm seeing
Really?
men.
Be careful with the modern families, because modern families, you have different types of
Okay.
modern families.
Modern families, meaning the
Families run by matriarchs.
families that are started, let's say 2000, within 2000, right?
Mm.
Right? I'm not talking same-sex couples. I'm talking a family where there's a mother and a
nuclear
father.
family.
Yes,
Nuclear family?
nuclear family. Like if there even is any nuclear family left over right now. But what I'm seeing right
In
now,
a full country.
no, I'm not talking into the country, I'm talking worldwide. What I'm seeing right now is that a lot of families are either single parent family, extended family, and there's a rise with same sex family right now. Right. The men are absent in a lot of the they are absent in a lot of family structure, which I think is causing a negative effect on how young men, children, but young men in particular are growing up. Right?
I agree with that.
No, what I'm seeing is that men, and I'm blaming men for this. So I'm blaming men for this. It's not 100% our fault, but the only is on us. A lot of men go around
Planting
have sex
seed.
with a female, exactly, and then when the female is pregnant, they left. They know better than the dogs on the street. Like legit, dogs during mating season will hone a female for sex, and the minute them get it and the female is pregnant, them disappear, and they don't come back until the child is big enough to fend for themselves.
Who tells you then come
I
back?
can attest to that.
Exactly. But we're acting.
We are not
Men in society are acting the same way dogs are acting. They legit know better than them.
Yeah, that's what my comment was. Who tells you then come back?
And
They'll come back.
I'm not even going to talk about men in the world right now. I'm speak on black men in particular.
It's a Jamaican, just in case.
All right.
No, I think black men is better because you're not gonna see this kind of thing to the degree that we're seeing it in, say, African Jamaican descendants, because the Chinese have a family system. Yeah, because even the Jamaican Chinese family, they still have a strong sense of family.
Yeah. And the Indians.
And
too.
the Indians. And say what you want about those who are European descendants, they still understand the need of a proper family structure. So you can't take that.
There's legit in their country. There's legit child support where they have to pay. Like yes, it's in some African countries and it's in the Caribbean country, but it's not as strong as it is in America and Europe. It's not, and it's ridiculous. Some time back, what would normally would have happened is that a man and a woman will come together, right? When they have a child, the man will go out, hunt, farm or work, depending on the time period, and bring him back the little bacon, whether it be food, produce, or money. The wife will stay at home. She would cook, clean, raise the child, take care of the home, make the clothes, do all the things that need to do, right? The modern society, as time went on, females enter into the working world, and that enabled a family to make dual income, right?
Oh,
Now, the tricky thing about it is that even though the females were taking on a working position, they still had to be the caretaker of the home, right? I think
oh.
I think that's where we started to fuck up as men. Forgive my language, but that's true. Because we as men, and we have to we can always take up in this. We as men saw our females working and coming home and taking care of everything, and instead of us stepping up and playing some part in the home, our question was to our wife, when dinner is ready. Right? No.
So hold on, before you continue, when you say about those households where like it's run by a matriarch, there's no father figure, and the woman has sons, and them grow up and see how things hard for them.
I don't think you reached that far yet.
Like, I'm gonna reach there, so yes.
Okay.
Good for him, but I'm gonna reach there, so yes. Now, what happened is that in Jamaica per se, and it burns me to the core, that a lot of females are working, taking care of the home, bringing in majority of the income, and the men are still not taking up their position to help the females, right? And it hurt me to the core. They, in their infinite wisdom, believe that because they're men and she's a female, she is supposed to take care of the home. And then the men in the relationship have the audacity to think that the female should put most of the income because they're making more money, when the men themselves not able taking care of the home. So basically, the men don't want a wife; they want a mother.
I think you mean me.
No, not even me. They want a mother. So a maid comes and cook and clean.
They know what the mother can. They can't talk back to their mother stuff. So that's saying the mother.
You don't know Jamaican men then.
No, they know what I think.
You don't know Jamaican men then. You're thinking of men in your social group. Keep forgetting. Please don't forget that you and Danny
are from a very different
group.
Right. You're from a different cut of cloth.
Okay, different social group. I'm talking about how men in the wider society are. Disgusting.
You probably haven't met these men enough, so that's why it's probably surprising for you too.
I mean crazy, so them men and me not agree.
So
for them, and that's in the way they are, I think.
So what happened is that
they have the audacity to not want to contribute, and the woman should do the most. You are on a good point.
Oh yeah, and they have the audacity not to want to contribute.
Mm-hmm.
No, they don't want a wife. They want a mother, somebody to take care of them, and someone to take care of them and take care of all the needs in the house. But they still want to be the man of the house. So they want the respect
without the responsibility.
Without the responsibility of being a man. Now, the question: where's all of this stemming from? The fact that a lot of these men didn't grow up without a father. My apologies. What happened is that because a lot of these men grow up, back to Danny's point, a lot of these guys grow up with a strong mother that cook, clean, go to work, and was able to provide them with an income.
So they go to give home and like that.
Exactly. So in their mind, that's how society is. They believe that a woman should provide for them. They won't say it, but deep down they feel like that's how it's supposed to go. And I'm seeing it with older men right now. I'm seeing it with young men my age and older men. The wives work and they cook and they clean and they cook.
If you lick up me,
I'm not because it go far my hand from you. It won't grow 6 inches after slapping in your face.
Thank you.
Continue.
They cook and they clean and they work. And then the men just sleep and wake up and take the wife to just give them the money and sex. and they feel yes, me a man. That's how they feel.
Sounds more of a king, actually.
You're not a king. A king make decision. A king make decision to defend the country and provide economic growth for the country. They are not doing anything. No. No.
But more know at what point does a grown young man decide, say, all right, instead of trying to be opposite of my father, which was like non-existent in the family, at what point did they decide to them to carry on the cycle?
I guess the type of people that are around as well, the type of persons them hang around, if everybody do it, it starts off, it just become a habit to them, probably a one-time thing, and then just starting a habit.
No, they don't.
It wouldn't be a one-off thing. You have to understand. This is.
That's a one-off thing, but they just start getting more and more and more into them just.
No, but remember the point that Leo made. The reason why these men more than likely are the way they are because this is what they've seen growing up. So it's not a one-off thing. It's a gradual progression of every day you wake up, mommy give you money, okay? In your mind, mommy, source of income. Mommy give you food, okay? Mommy, source of food. Mommy give you nurturing love and care. Mommy wash your dishes. Mommy wash the clothes. You growing up is the same way of you seeing all these things. It's the same way how depending on when we actually do the editing for this, it's going to be definitely after Father's Day. But I had a discussion on that day with a female, and I told her that the important thing that people don't realize that a father is needed for both children, whether male or female. Because the father is important because think about it. When you're growing up and you're a daughter, for instance, you're going to look for a man that reminds you of your father. Because that is the first male that shows you love, affection.
But if you
care.
have a father, if you didn't grow up with one, you look for the opposite.
I'm talking as if the father is there. So let me just finish that before you come back at me. So that's the daughter. On the son side, no. Again, this is his male figure, so he's going to emulate his father straight down to the T. So if his father is a strong-willed, hard-working man, chances are he's going to pick up those traits because that's what he sees a man should be because it's what he grew up with. The first piece of education, remember, it starts at home. So you do need a father in the household, particularly when it comes to discipline. Because I think Leo said it best when he was on a previous podcast episode that we had. So he mentioned the fact that the father would treat him like a king before he reached work. But as soon as he got to work, that dad is not playing around. It's not that you can't get that kind of fear from a mother, but it's just a lot easier to get that kind of fear from a father. I'm pretty sure if these young men had a father, they wouldn't conceive half of the things they come up with to do. Particularly the young men who were caught smoking, and the other young one would say, "Oh, I want to be a gunman when I grow up."
Is that the video the other days with the when they pick them and smoke?
Oh, they find them already.
So back to the topic right now. Now, what is a man's role in modern family? Right? Now, I said earlier that back in the days, the main role of the family was to protect and provide for the family. Right? Now, providing for the family, I think that should be done by both parents, right? The father should protect the family, but he does have additional responsibilities, and responsibility has changed over time. There's no longer protecting and providing for the family. A man is needed in the family to show his son how to act within society and what society expects from him.
I think that's always been a responsibility.
I'm sorry?
No, I didn't mean to cut you. I'm just saying I think that's always been a responsibility. It's just, remember, the father would be the one to, as you said, depending on the time period, he would be teaching his son societally. Okay, we hunt, so we need to hunt. Societally, we fish, you need to fish. Societally, we go at war, You learn how to handle a sword, that. So I'm thinking, I think what we should be saying instead is saying that we should regain or repurpose our roles as, well, fathers on a whole, because our children are lacking in that. We're not showing them societally what is accurate. So you know that you as a father, you're not going to let your daughter walk out in any kind of piece of clothing. Maybe the mommy think it's cute, but a father, he's not playing that game. Same thing if it comes down to an attitude problem with a son. He's not going to let that slide.
He also should discipline the child. A lot of young men nowadays wouldn't have the anger issue they have if the father was disciplining them correctly.
That I can agree on.
But what about the discipline that the mothers give? That no count?
It does, but you have to understand with a child,
particularly a boy,
they need the fear
of a father,
of someone destroying them for they to understand that they're doing something wrong.
All right, let me put it. Okay, I'm doing this thing again. I need to stop talking, but I don't want to lose this point.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
You have to understand that when it comes down to it, okay, for the sake of fairness, for the ladies, which person do you think is usually going to be more violent based on expectancy? Is it going to be the mother or the father?
We're growing up in different for we.
Societally, who do you think is going to be naturally more aggressive, naturally more violent?
Father, I guess. Especially if it was them wife with me.
Okay. If the child knows that the father, based on natural inclination, is going to be more violent, more aggressive, there are certain things the boy or girl is just not going to try once they know the father is around or aware.
Like a young child need like physical repercussions to know that something that they do is wrong. Sometimes a child will do something
and
they talk to that child and they still don't understand what they did wrong. If a child do something and you hit them hard enough, they may not understand that they did something wrong.
But they're not going to do it again.
They're not going to do it again. Like the conversation me and El was having, there's this prank where the mother and the child prank the father, where the child will go to the mother and say, "Shut up, mom," when the mother is talking to them, right?
TikTok trend.
Yeah, TikTok trend. You hear what I just said?
Yeah, I heard it.
If El and my child did that, right? Even if them tell me say it's a prank, may I beat the picnic. And because I know better.
Don't play them joke then.
And sometimes when you incorporate like really young children in certain pranks, even though it's not real, the fact that you allow them to do it, it's like a kind of trick them into thinking
it's okay
to do.
So
why you take that risk?
You know, it always reminds me of, I've probably used this story for the past couple of days though, ridiculously. You remember that movie with Chris Rock? When he ran for president? Right. Same example. He's asked a question, what you and your opponent, what will you do to curtail our drug problem here in America? The white man replies, the conventional, like, we need to put more funding in our counseling programs in our schools to show our children love and nurturing that they need so that they don't have any means or need to go down that path. That's a politically correct way to answer the question. Chris Rock's character, he's old school. He said, when I was 14 years old, I smoked crack. You know why I stopped smoking crack? It's not because I knew it could kill me. Because my father kicked down the door, saw it on my hand, on my lips, and knocked me the hell out. So I don't stop smoking because I think it can kill me. I stop smoking because I'm afraid that the moment the spliff touches my lips, my father's going to kick down the door and knock me out. Beat your kids. It's good for them. That was basically his tagline for the entire night. But you see that?
A lot of people going to be upset with this video.
They're going to be upset, but we don't care. Because the honest truth is, the Yeah, the man said it best.
Good for them.
It's good for them. The beating within reason is good for them. Because when you read a cigarette packet, it tells you, I can give you lung cancer, I can affect your asthma, I can do all manner of things to you. You still smoke it. Let one of your parents, preferably your father, physically discipline you. You will read that packet in a whole different light. Because you are not smoking again.
You're not going to when you read the packet, you're not going to read it. Don't care. You're going to read.
You're going to read immediate death. Not by lung cancer, but by other means. I'm sorry. You just need, when you have the...
by dad.
Death by dad.
Are these dad jokes?
Yes.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with making good dad jokes about discipline.
I thought they were good.
Okay, shut up.
Be quiet.
No, I probably feel passionate about this topic because I actually grew up with a father.
And I didn't, so I'm passionate either way.
So a very good one at that. A really good one. Like, shit. Like, if he wasn't there...
You'd be a very bad man.
Would probably be a good man. There's no denying.
Yeah, I agree.
You see?
I agree with what?
Yeah, that'd probably be a good man.
Have I ever done anything to make you
and while you're saying this, you have the gunman stamina. You know, the poor kid. I see him with the gunman.
I'm asking Danny a question.
Same with the gunman.
Have I ever done anything to let you think
with
that
the
I
head
would
on
be a
the
good
side
man?
too. You can just imagine bouncing and then sang. Have I ever? Sorry.
Oh God! All right. So, based on what you tell me so far about yourself, like your upbringing, you always say, "Trust me, this is Elle's handiwork." The layer that we're facing now, right? So I'm like, if you grew up with both parents and they had both negative and positive influences on you, but it took somebody else to shape you up. Imagine if one of them parents, they never present.
Problem.
They never have me.
Like, if never have you, probably not very watch you right now.
Exactly. So that's why I'm say yes. I agree with you.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna lose my husband.
Right, so true. So
not you. That's one.
Okay.
The point remains.
You can get a divorce if you want to, know. You can get
the
one.
point for going back
the
to
point
the point
remains that
Michael was saying.
Well, I'm just expounding on Leo's stuff, but we both share the same thing. If you didn't have that structure growing up with both parents, chances are you'd be the worst case scenario of you. And
exactly.
You don't need me to say anything otherwise. There have been a couple dozen studies about comparing children who have a stable two-parent home against persons who have, say, a stable single-parent or a nuclear home. The data is just there to say that you do need both.
But I have an issue with the term stable, because what if you did grow up with both parents, but they weren't really positive influences in your life?
That's why.
Is it any different? Is it any different from growing up without one particular parent?
One parent family? Is it any different?
No.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I said stable. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what we say.
Which one is still better? Two parents but unstable versus one stable.
One stable parent. There's no arguing about that. We're not arguing about the thematic. One stable parent is better than two unstable parents.
Yeah.
But two stable parents is better than one stable parent. That way I try to explain right here. Like a father and a mother in a child life can have positive benefits into it. But if both parents are shit, the child may come out as shit. Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Right?
Because you have some kids who basically are in the worst shitty situation, and that's their inspiration to get better.
Exactly. Now, what I'm seeing nowadays is that young person in our age group, well, I'm not sure if it's just our age group or because the fact that I'm in your guys' social group now. your guys' social group is a social group that I hang out with. From me, legit, no, legit. Legit. You guys are amazing, and the thing, the only thing, and praise. No, I am going to sing the praises where I see the praises.
Wait, what's the name of that book he was reading, El?
Which one?
Which one? I read a lot of books.
Oh, the one that you told me about.
Influence and influence people.
Right.
I wish I know that one there.
No.
We don't have anybody in our institute classes.
As I was saying, no, I'm not certain if it's because I'm in this social group now, but I'm seeing a lot of men stepping up and being a father. They may not be married to the woman they have the child with, but they are fathering their children. And they're trying hard to build a stable foundation for the child that they're raising, and that's good. That's a lot better than that some of these crufts have been doing. Right?
I'm going up without their father and determined to say, all right, I don't want my child to grow up like, oh, I did without a father. And
exactly.
They're determined to stay in their child's life and do the best that they can.
Exactly.
Might not be a lot, but they at least try.
Exactly. And this will set the child up for a better life than they have, because a positive influence, male and female influence in a child's life,
you can't lose.
Will set up that child to be better than their parents. There's no denying that.
Because it's just like what I said.
No denying that.
It's just like what I said earlier. If you have a father, for instance, in your life growing up as a child, whether you're male or female, there are countless benefits you get from that one male perspective. And when you have both that and the mother combined, the child is the best of both worlds. Because the child has a good spitting image of what their interaction should be with opposite sex, what they are expected to be societally, and with that they have a better. It cuts a lot of time, because if you realize that a lot of persons, probably in our age group, older or even younger.
Should we specify what our age group is?
Yeah, because we're kind of old.
You're the one who's forever. You're the one who's forever 25.
Let's just say
20s, 30s,
25 and 30s.
20s and 30s. To be fair.
Yeah, 20s and 30s.
20s and 30s.
Between 25 to 30. Those are 20, because people I think so we're in our young 20s. We're in it. We're all accept that age.
Okay.
20s to 30s. 20s and 30s, people. 20s and 30s. Above and below.
In her mind, she's forever 25. Anyway. The point I'm making.
The age for the radio professor?
It's not the age. It's not the age, a dirty girl.
How are these? What's with all this hostility?
Bad mind.
Anyway.
Females are listening. This is for you.
Stop lying about your age. You can't.
No, after that. I don't even care if you lie about your age.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going back to the father, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not all men are bad. And some men get better over time. But if the man are cross, no breathe him.
You know what I found funny though? I don't know if I ever told you guys this story. It's a case where I had a co-worker of mine. She's no longer with the company. And she basically had a child which was about, like, say, maybe 9, 10 months old, right?
Okay.
The child is giving trouble. It's a male child giving trouble, just as usual. I don't know. She said something within the vicinity of the child and her mother, in the terms of basically saying that you gotta come and walk this just like your papa. Now, her mother hears that, and you know what her reply was?
No.
When did they do that for? What she did that with him for?
You never know. So the man walk this when you have sex with him. So.
Because to make a response.
No, but I'm just always amazed. It's always a case where, okay, I know that there's deception in every sex, in every form. I get that, but at some point you can't tell me that every time that you're in a bad relationship, there are no hints or clues or something to just give you a little heads up. Say, okay, maybe this person is not who you should be with right now.
Mm-hmm. Not necessarily enough. Someone I know to make sure for the sweetest thing when you first meet them.
Yeah, but some of these women have this fetish about, I want to be the one to change him and all this other nonsense. I'm like, what?
And you can't
cannot
change a man unless he wants to
change. And that don't mean saying want to change for you.
Oh no, if I want to change or not. I mean, if it is up on you,
was I difficult to change? Was I not cooperative?
You were difficult.
Was I not accommodating? Did I not say that I wanted to change?
You kind of had to break down the ego right? So anyway, so you're kind of fine.
You want for?
No.
Yes, guys, I am else and they were.
This is what I'm talking
because
about.
I was a bit of a man before, and I'm much more of a gentleman right now.
You've been civilized.
Are you
happy?
No, I'm still a bitch. Apparently, I'm still a bitch. My apologies. Let me say now, we're hard enough then.
Your methods are flawed. Or like David Ramsey would say, you lack sauce.
Joking aside.
But one question. What about men? Like, I have a specific example of a man who had several baby mothers, but he made sure that he was in all his children's life and he support them financially until his death. And even when in bed, he leave a portion for everybody get.
It sounded like he had money.
Yeah, he was a police officer, like a senior police officer, so he did everything to change.
Great, that's great. Well, you know, a lot of Jamaican men don't have that money to raise so much children.
No, you have so many.
And still them a plant them feet like my father Farmer John.
I just say that. Woman in the better in that case between her.
We know because them are laid down with the same man them and sometimes more than one.
Yeah, because you know same man has 5 baby mother already. Why the heck you have to write this off now?
Because he's changed and I love him and he treats me nice.
Oh God. He might come around one day, you know.
It's 5 baby mama, that's a 5 drama. I don't know none of that.
5, you talk about 5. Alright, do you guys know who Future is?
Yeah.
An American rapper.
I'm not really too sure about him.
Him have one of the Kardashian name, but wonder again.
No. He's a rapper. He's a black American rapper.
What's his net worth? Maybe I remember him from that.
I don't know.
Okay.
But he make only a song, so him having money.
I know. Again, it's somebody important.
Oh, so we're saying Future was with Sierra. I don't know if I know who Sierra is, but she's a
I know Sierra.
Okay. So she have a son for him, knowing full well that this man have 7 other baby mothers. But she thinks that she can change him. So she dealt with him for a while. She dealt with him for a while before she get pregnant. And then as soon as she get pregnant, the man left her.
Oh.
Well, she have her money and she have her new husband now, her new NFL husband.
Yeah, but it still goes to show that even though it turned out good for her in the end, she still made a stupid move for the. Why would you lay down with somebody who has 7 baby mothers? And one of the baby. Yeah, and I'm more than 8 pick me him up because I think 2 of them must have like 2 children each being. I mean, I know for sure, but I know say I'm more than 8 pick me him out.
In love.
Well, no, it's not love. Well, maybe.
No,
I think it's just she. I've seen this act out a lot of times to the point where there is. How can I put this? There's a friend of mine who was talking to this young lady, and the young lady wouldn't give him the time of day. So apparently, it turns out that is her boyfriend? Yeah, technically it's her boyfriend because they haven't broken up. So the boyfriend comes on once a year, basically, you know, has his little fun time with her, give her some money and go on with the business until they come back another year. And I'm saying to myself that, is there a future in that? And if there isn't, more than likely, doesn't she see that? And she's literally in our age group, by the way, just to give her some reference. And this has been going on for like maybe 4 or 5 years. That's a long time. I could get
he gives her money, maintaining her. That's why.
No, he's not. No, he's not maintaining her. He just leaves money. You know, like when you're having sex with a prostitute and leaves money on the table after the act. He only leaves money when he comes into the island.
How much money? Can you get up in a year?
Maybe. Maybe.
Either the money enough for the sex good car.
Yeah, but our next one, I'm saying, yeah, maybe that's not the
Yes, we know that she has our next one. That's not the point.
That's not the point. The point is, why are you in a situation like that you know it's not conducive to a long-term relationship? Forget about the sex. When you reach a certain age, even after married, the sex is not going to be all that. So you have to bring something else.
No, that's the one time a year I hold it. So you just take that. Sorry, I just sprayed that.
Oh, God.
What is wrong with you? I wonder why I'm calling you a thought.
You called her a thought?
Multiple times to be exact.
Wow.
Wow.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
Yeah, that's all.
That's all I gotta say. I'm sorry. I can't comment on that.
So what are we as men going to do in societies now?
I don't know, need to change, and they need to change, and God knows. Yes, the other man never just spread their seed all over the place. Like
No, we can't. As we said before, you can't change a man. But to be fair, as we say, the onus is on both the male and the female, because it's not like the men are going around raping the women. These women are willingly having sex,
spreading their legs.
You can't change them either, so.
We need to start somewhere, because even on Father's Day, when I spoke to she's a mother, and she basically, the regular thing, our baby father, a dog, this and that, and blah blah blah. And I said, okay, so why did you go as far to have a child with him? Her response to me is like, me didn't want to show me pitney. Me said, no, that's not what I asked you. I'm asking you, why did you get impregnated in the first place? If you know that the man was this and that, why did you continue to have unprotected sexual intercourse with this man? And all, maybe the sex was good, but I mean, you have to ask yourself, what long term? This is the problem we have in probably our island, especially long term.
Gratification, well, not at all.
Amen to that.
We can't do it well. We just want something now, and we want the hype from it now. We're want everything else later.
And yet men are called sex addicts.
I think that was a general. I wasn't being male or female. I was just talking.
Oh, I thought you meant female. My apologies. I'm sorry.
I'm talking everyone. We don't do the gratification well.
And you know what's the messed up thing about it? What else is true? Mm-hmm. That's the reason why we have so much baby father and baby mother out here, and that's the reason why.
And seeing pregnancies and so.
That's why they have no need for getting actual married. Yeah.
And that's why we're so poor, because we can't delay gratify. We have to buy stuff now and can't put in investment and shit like that.
We want a short term high. We want to make money now. We can't do it long term. We can't do anything, and that's why we're so fed up. And it's upsetting because you just want to wait something now and again.
Because one, we can easily build wealth over time if we do a simple thing. Two, we can easily plan for our families and be a great nation that have great family structure.
And pregnancy is something that can be prevented.
Pregnancy is something that you can buy a condom for $20.
Seriously?
You can buy one condom for $20.
You see, $20 can save you $200.
$20. You just go and shop. I need a condom.
And that will save you.
It's cheap. $50 for like the nicer one.
I don't remember condoms being that cheap. That can be a good rubber then.
No man.
That's what I think the boss pile.
No.
Oh, where you going to get in $20 one day?
Number one, no.
When in a clinic or something?
Yeah. I actually don't remember.
How much years ago?
It used to be a whole field.
Okay, the point remains. It's cheaper. It's cheaper to buy a condom.
And those are little pack of weed. That's how much again? $1,000?
Yeah, look, 1 week after $1,000.
Oh,
what?
Weed.
Yeah, we found somebody that sold like some good weed, like the good weed.
In a ketchup cup, then.
In a ketchup cup, like brand. But I like the good high grade weed.
Wait.
Calm down. We're not talking about weed, Danny. We're talking about condoms and pregnancy.
No, I know, but it's intriguing. No, come on, no weed. That's $50. I'm like, where was I?
No, let's not do that. No, not no.
No, Danny. No.
Not No, Danny.
You realize, to all this, you realize that this is the most that they have stopped when she hears it.
That in our head. Weed is my best friend. Y'all are trying to talk about people too.
The point remains, it is cheaper to buy a condom or any other contraceptive than raising a child. The match just checks out.
I mean, you pay a one-time price for a couple
$2 million worth of investing, because that's what a child is.
$10,000 for ultrasound, whatever thing you call it.
Yeah, to more ultrasound.
You know, pump up expensive.
Baby food, that's right. It could baby food.
This is why I make sure that I have money, you know.
Best believe if you like get some money there with, you have to put most of them prices yourself. Cause even have to put the money.
I can't be walking in the supermarket.
Cause you can live next door to him, and best believe it has seen for years.
No, that is no joke.
Condom, folks. But it's not a joke.
But
see happen. Me say a man live next door to him baby mother and something that child, and the child grew up 10 years old and know say our father the next door.
Wow. But this is a different
No,
there's so many different
no, not really, because I know a young man who his father literally lived across the road from him, and I later along in the years he found out that I'm father, so it's not that far gone.
Exactly, and it's pretty good. And
that man never give him the man don't know how him eat, he don't know how him get, he don't know nothing. He just cross the road.
But did the father know that it was his child?
Oh, him well I know. Him know.
Wow.
So we don't talk with the father don't know. No, we're talking about the scruffy men who know they pick me and give them shit.
That's what the character you see.
Yes, sperm donors. And them now do nothing for you pick me. Nothing. And the next thing I hate about what men do, a man will have the money to give to a child, right? Him and the mother not in a nothing, every man don't give him sex him gone with money. Just like food, the mother, you pick me and starve, you worthless shit, yo.
No, yes, the anger is understandable, trust me.
Yeah, I mean, he has more anger for sperm donors than us who didn't grow up with a father.
Let me clarify.
I think because
the father I grew up with was my stepfather. He's a great
man.
man.
Because you grew up with a father figure, so the fact that you're so vehement against that
is shit. Is shit. It's not because I'm angry.
You're disappointed.
At my sperm donor. I'm not even disappointed. I really don't care what I'm doing. But what happens is that I've seen a lot of men in my life that I thought were good men, that are good men, that treated me well, but are shitty fathers. And all you have to do is just do a fraction of the kindness they gave to me.
You know, it's funny as they mentioned that there are so many men, like, uncles and so on, ready to cuss to their niece and uncles and sisters say, how you going to sleep with them?
The man that wrote this. And them.
A period of mine. They would have picked me. You ever see that thing, me? Yep.
The irony of life.
It's upsetting. It's upsetting. I have men that I know are croft father and give me fatherly advice.
Wow.
I remember one time a gentleman that I know, me and him kick off in an argument because
I never want to wear consulting fees.
Huh?
Never want to wear consulting fees.
No, he's not a father. He's younger than me. I'm talking from an older gentleman.
Okay.
That's giving me fatherly advice. I'm a no fair fact that him daughter suffer. And it will slip out of my mind, it will slip out of my mouth. Me that think it, but it slip out of my mouth. Now why you not take care of that then? Good God, after the the man they want to fight me. I don't know shit. Why am I giving fatherly advice? But here's the thing with them, right? Because I grew up in my community, I'm well liked, right?
Extrovert.
Yeah, yes, I'm an extrovert, whatever, but I'm well liked. Everyone liked me. And everybody say, oh, you're such a good young man. You're such a this, such a that. Everyone wants to say that they knew me and they played a part in
your upbringing,
me, right? Right? But they didn't do anything like that. It was my father, my mother, and
your uncle, your auntie.
Uncle, auntie. Yeah, there's also people that help me, right? But not these personnel. No. They want to see, oh, you're a good young man, and they want to talk to me and give me advice. Because, when you're good already, you want to jump on a bandwagon. But they have children that are messed up because of them. And they are not taking the same goddamn advice they want to give to me to take care of them own pitney. And I've seen a man ask my father, oh, your son come out so perfect, he come like a program him. Everything I yes daddy, no daddy, yes daddy, you call him not with a post or anything. Right? All you have to do is be in your child's life. It's as simple as that. And I'm not going to lie, I've seen good parents and the children come out messed up and bad and crusty. I've seen that happen, but that's the exception. That's not the norm. If you had parents, they don't even have to be good parents. They have to be semi-decent. Raise the child, show the child some attention, not even love, but some attention, and can help raise the child financially, and the child will come out moderately good. That's all they need to do.
But back to the one I was giving your fatherly advice now. At the time he was doing that, how old was his daughter? Like teenage?
No, me and the daughter are actually on the same age.
God damn it.
Closer to the 30s.
Yeah, she's actually in her she's early 20s. She's a little bit younger than me, like 3 years younger than me.
Okay.
We feel like, say, in that case, the father probably feel like it's too late for him to act on his own advice. So, him learn from his mistakes and him probably see a good youth and I say, all right, maybe me can take a shot and say, here's something I did wrong. Don't follow in my footsteps or get yourself involved.
Here's the honest truth.
Fathers will come on from the bag and late.
Here's the honest truth. Unless me see you do it yourself, I don't want to give me no advice. I don't want money advice from a poor person. I don't want
marriage advice from a single person.
I don't want martial arts advice from a person who can't fight to save his life. And I don't want parent advice from a shitty parent. So all due respect, and I mean there is some wisdom from learning from your mistakes. I'm not gonna say that, but if you fuck, keep it to yourself. I know, I'm sorry. I do apologize. This is something that's heated for me. It is heated for me. I apologize. I will stop with the cursing, the freezing.
Everybody listen. It's really firmly on them. And you the one who asked about this, said, father, and I thought you were the other one.
Because it probably hurt me the most to see that it hurt me the most because I did have a good father.
So you know that what we missed out on, basically.
And then what hurt me a lot of people criticize my father for being a shitty father, and because he could not always provide financially. And it's not his fault. He just didn't have it, but he tried everything he could. And when he did have the money, he gave it to him.
Yeah, I think we talked about this.
Right, right. No, and they're criticizing him
that he's not a man because he can't help financially. That always bothered me, you know.
When they may have a husband that can provide and now do shit, the hypocrite.
Okay.
So, my apologies for being a bit heated, but this is a very tough subject for me.
I can understand.
So, like, my fear is being a man or being a father like my biological father was, and not like how my stepfather was. Like, I don't want to be exactly like my stepfather because he made mistakes. But at least he left me with a base, but I can build up on.
Yeah, but in go ahead.
Alright, Mickey, what are you saying?
No, I'm saying in all fairness, it's probably better you turn out as your stepfather because you're gonna go back to that zone of parenting by default anyway because it's what you grew up and what you saw.
Mhm.
So it's gonna be hard for you to use other methods. Yes, one or a few times you're able to interject and say, all right, I'm not gonna handle it the way my stepfather would, but innately, it's gonna be a big part of you, and you never know. It might be the thing that that keeps your son or even your daughter in line. Because if they have your genetics, you know that they're gonna be very power forward.
Mhm.
And there's nothing wrong with with being in that kind of mentality, but there comes a time we must understand a bit of refraining and just stepping back, not always going at it. So I think that's where your discipline would come in good, because they would already, because I said already, you guys are a mixture of fire and water. So if your children have the drive that you have, the fuel, you're gonna be the person to just pull the brake sometime. I say, hold on, slow down.
Alright, so me and Mikkel had this conversation already, but I want to hear your point, Leo. Leo?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay. What was it again? Oh, so say you do with somebody, you're not married or nothing, but in a relationship, and when you get pregnant.
Is this the baby mother, baby father thing we talked about?
Yeah.
Ah.
So you and the person mash up, but you decide say you're gonna take care of your child either way. Do you think you're already obligated for take care of the child, but do you think you should be obligated for the baby mother as well, like for say you tend to her emotional and physical needs?
Just pregnant?
No, the child has been born.
I said you have the child.
I don't know. I'm never supposed to use then a new man to be with their backside.
No. What is wrong with you?
Unless it's for us here. Like say I pay the bills, but the people are gonna live on internet bills, so them use them schooling and then thing there. Fine, you put some money towards that.
Like in all honesty, like it may depend on the female. Like generally no. Like what else is like me put towards the bill and the food for the home for us and them rent if them rent. No, not even school fee because that's on the child. What about helping with the baby man, right?
Mhm.
Like I will help take care of the bills and stuff that benefit my child, right?
Not
right,
to buy your clothes.
But nothing for buy your clothes or do your ear or anything like that. No, in retrospect, say me and Elle didn't get married and she got pregnant for me and we broke up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the type of woman Elle is, if she needed help with something, I would help her. Just based on the type of woman she is.
I'm a good woman.
You're kind of good. Right? But I don't think you should be obligated to mind a woman just because she's a baby mother. She's an adult, she can take care of herself.
Okay.
No, and as it relates to the child, because them love you, say, oh, the child need this, the child need that. Me, I freak them up and me buy everything for the child myself.
Yeah.
That's where we go.
Anything for the child.
Don't give the mother the money.
Don't give them the money.
Exactly.
You give them the money. Don't say.
It's like a dip, you know.
It's like a done, and you're going to hear say, oh, the money done. We need $5,000 more. Right? Was it enough for
Exactly.
All right, that's
exactly.
I say, you can't get by the money, you know. Just wait, if I understand that the other day. It's just the same money done.
Exactly. So I will buy grocery and bring out the house every week. So my food to eat, but now getting the money myself. I'm not trust a lot of women like that.
Grocery, yeah, voucher.
Not even a voucher I'm gonna give.
Not even a voucher.
Not even the voucher. Me use it myself.
If you eat top up, you can top it up.
No, I never find out if you go around this and if you have the food, then
Good.
just sell the food.
Good
to
luck.
buy the food, I just get their money.
What kind of thought process do you have?
I've seen it happen. Then take the time and say, all right, you bring this amount of food, let me go sell this outside and sell that outside and get a little pocket money.
What kind of coffee woman is that? Can't they work?
They do for us to get
like
money.
If me, I bring the food come on week time and I pay part of the bills there, me I tell me say you can't work and earn your money for yourself. But they take care of the child. Oh my goodness.
Well, suppose you're dead. What you gonna do?
Suppose the man dead. What you gonna do as a woman? They damn well have to go look after the things
they know what some women are gonna do. They're gonna find a new man.
Yeah, Danny, I agree with Elle. They're gonna find a new man.
Some of them are left the picnic and grandparents and gonna find live with man.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard of several things like that. They left the picnic and the granny and gone some other parish or something else gone and live with man.
That's why women have more money usually than men, because sometimes enough for their money.
And then they go have picnic for that man there and have total life, and then other people visit them.
You know what I'm realizing? A lot of females get pregnant from a man, right? Not the coffee man, like
the rich man.
With a decent.
Yeah, man.
They have a child for the man. The child let the man eat, so they can get consistent revenue. The child is an investment, and you are the bank, and the payment they give to the child is their revenue.
Basically, yeah. They've been doing that for a long time, though.
American guilty after doing that to first people. Then the turkey based the problem.
Like I had a friend that told me something in my early 20s that I follow it to this day. I kind of follow it to this day, but understand. Just listen to you. He said that if you don't see yourself marrying to a woman,
don't have sex with her. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
But who can resist?
Men don't follow that rule.
They should. Look, if you cannot, wait. You want this one or should I take this one?
You take it. I've been talking a lot.
If you have to consider the fact whether it's the same thing like marriage. If you can't see yourself joining in a financial relationship with this woman, do not conceive in sexual intercourse with this woman. It makes you more picky as a man, and it makes you more than likely pick the right thing. If you literally cannot look and say that this woman will be a wonderful, wonderful mother for my children, then...
You mean not even wife, just mother?
I spoke on both, so I'm jumping up.
Some of them don't want to be married, so some of them just...
No, but as I said, that's a side example. But the main point that we're sticking to is that if you cannot conceive yourself to create a child with this woman, remember, this child is for life. This is a lifetime investment. This is a human being that both of you are bringing into this world, take care of each other. If you can't conceive yourself to be connected to this woman via this child for the rest of your life, do not have sex with her. It's not worth it. Because all you're going to end up is creating an entire lifelong means of regret, and you're going to have the child as the physical embodiment of that regret. Because how much times I don't think Leo has ever heard this, but I've heard it even personally, that I look just like my father, I'm going to come out walk this just like him. Any little thing that I've ever done that my mother does not like,
everybody hear that.
Right.
It works like a pooper.
Right.
It turns out like a pooper.
Anything we do bad, apparently your papa used to do it too. Yeah, man. If
big like a pooper.
Yeah, everything that is bad apparently is your papa. Nothing bad come from them, apparently.
Let me use that for me one time.
Yeah, it was like a pooper.
No, not that. But it's like a pooper, and the response may be she never use it to me again.
Maybe why I get a response.
Okay.
Maybe why I get a response.
I will.
Even though what you say, though, I have an idea what you say, and you're not say it on the phone call.
Okay.
What me say, even when you not do nothing wrong as the child, you hear that comment there. Because when we used to come home from school and do homework, I had this angle where I turned the books like long way and right. And somebody tell me, say, oh, you're right, handicap just like your father. I'm like, what did I do? Poor me.
You existed. You existed. That's what you did wrong.
Is it right like that, Danny?
That's your crime.
No.
I mean, if you hate the pooper so much, why you hate the body?
Exactly.
Why you do it? That's upsetting. This is why if you have a child, it come across my mind. If you don't like the father so much,
why you did there with him?
Exactly.
Because they can't give you all the tall tears, Lord God, I went there with him, man. It is terrible. He just terrible. I said, so hold
And
on.
that kind of turn off a lot of guys from actually being towards them child and they can't bother with the mama.
They can't bother with the mother. Yeah, man.
The mother has too much practice.
That definitely I can understand. Them, it's a matter of self-preservation for the sake of their sanity. Them can't. Oh.
Like, there is this guy that I know. He's not a friend, he's an acquaintance. That he was on the path to be a very successful young man.
Oh, boy.
Why did I think you were going to say on the path of righteousness?
For his name's sake. Continue. Continue.
On the path of being a very successful young man. Like, I'm not saying better or anything, but in career path, he would have had money, right? If we get him degree and everything.
A woman came along, didn't he?
A woman come along.
Of course.
And not just any woman.
Of course.
A ghetto girl.
Of course.
No, don't say ghetto girl.
Oh, okay, my apologies.
Yeah, kind of all them space. So I know a lot of ghetto girl when you go mind.
No.
Whoa.
A girl from the ghetto is different from a ghetto girl. These are different.
It's a personality.
Right.
Exactly. Not the area.
They kind of stay bad, don't put it down for other girls or you say ghetto girls.
Anyway.
I hate girls.
Oh my.
Continue.
Anyway. So, this young man, I get a piece from these girls from the ghetto. And even though I didn't know about it at the time, but even though some of my friends them say, brother, don't do that. That them did want him, just don't go there, right? Him go and to get pregnant. Unfortunately for him, he's a good guy. He must take care of fitness. Unfortunately for him, she don't do nothing, and she can't mind the picnic herself.
Oh, already?
Oh,
already? Young adult?
The young adult. He's slightly older than me.
Okay.
Now, because he's a good youth, right? Even that work, he had to start working, and most of his income was going to the child.
Okay.
And for some reason, the money is never enough.
We give cash for never give them money cash.
And that's the reason why I'm saying I buy groceries. The reason I'm saying I never buy groceries. So, this friend of mine now lives in
a prominent area.
No, which prominent area? He lives on Bodos. He lives on Bodos, and his job cannot all something that ends me because I take care and pick me.
Why not just pick me from the mother?
He did at one point, but remember, so nobody not help him, and raising a child is not easy.
So it better to give the money to the mother?
No, it's better off now having a child for himself.
Oh, he have a child now?
He has a child for himself. But remember, raising a child is expensive, and like him alone are these. And he's not like a man, and he's not thinking like, if a man was to drop them past somebody and go and do a thing, and him not think like me, he would have said, all of us have to suffer feel better. We suffer no feel better, the good. He must have tried to take care of him child, no.
And
right?
because he had the child at short order, as we say, he didn't get a chance to build his wealth, so he's really struggling.
Exactly. And it's not even that, because if the mother was contributing to the child, they could have built well, independently of each other, but still build well. It would have taken longer, but it could have happened.
Yeah,
but they get a girl lazy.
He knew how to build well. So that's one thing. That's why he's a friend of mine. I mean, he could have talked about money. He just never had the chance because he had to take care of the child.
Oh, what is the child now?
The child will be 8 now.
Damn.
Wow.
He has a long haul.
Yeah, of course he does.
See?
But it's like how we talk about giving the material goods instead of the cash itself. I remember when we were in a high school and my father decided to go reconnect. At the time they in a British Virgin Islands. So at like a euro then use, right? Because them belong to pound, right? So I don't know exactly what he was doing for a job, Me only know say him claim say him gonna send some money every now and then, which probably wasn't more than 3 times a year. And every time him call me, him call my mother, ask to talk to me. He's like, all right, how much for lunch? Now let's say Patty, because you know that Patty used to run the lunch line if you not buy back food. Woo!
Okay.
And cheese patty was the #1 commodity. So,
I leave that part. Those lunches were great.
Yeah. So you say, all right, fine. I want to buy a patty and either a soda or orange juice for lunch tomorrow. So
$100.
$100 for the patty, $50 for the orange, or $60 for the orange juice. So he would have asked me how much for lunch. So I'm like $160 a day. Man start cost me. I talk about how food is so expensive. Me not believe you. You just are your mother jealous in your head to tell me one figure so me can send how much money give her. And I was so taken aback because I'm like, first of all, why you know in my life? Second of all, you know live in Jamaica, so you know how much food costs out here.
Mm-hmm.
And would you believe the man saying less than the amount I'm selling?
Of course he did.
But it could be a trust issue, you know, because if it was anything like my mother when she used to get the money, or when money used to send, I don't know when she used to get the money. But when I used to get money, I used to get US, not pounds like how you is fortunate. They get US. But then again, you know, it wasn't so bad back then. You understand? There wasn't much of a difference.
So your point, I more answer or something.
So, me know say when the money they reach, God bless the little, me they get like a 10% of the money there, 90% to what me don't know.
Oh, God.
If we're lucky enough to get the 10%, other than that, me only hear some money come. Oh, your father send money. And so everybody have caught money and gone with it. I'm like, okay. Tell you first, you never get nothing.
What kind of mob boss family you have over there, man?
That, yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, Danny?
Yeah.
Was it a case that he think that you were talking about like $150 US? $150.
No, man, because he know very well say Jamaican dollars there. Yeah. I wasn't aware of how he was being paid, like if a pound or whatever currency was. That was running across my mind. I just know some quota figure. And the man ready to cuss me off, say I lie me at you.
Well, I know people who used to live off of $20 back in their olden days, so I can probably understand why.
Yeah, but $20 did money them time there.
Maybe he come from a different time, you know. And if he's been at the U.S. Virgin Islands for a while, he probably desensitized and think say, Jamaica is not as bad.
Yeah.
No.
Powerpuff Girls.
You know that the Powerpuff Girls are descendants of Samurai Jack?
You stole us the theory. We remember.
Professor Newtonian
looked exactly like him. Yeah.
He's a descendant of Samurai Jack.
When a man said, Jack! Jack! Jack!
Eddie.
Hey, Jack!
Okay.
Guys, how we move from men's role to the family?
We're trying we're sieving through all the things that a child needs, and we can own. So that's why we're here.